Hey guys, good evening. I hope I'm audible. Uh, just setting up the things here. Do let me know if I'm audible as well as visible in the chat, guys. Just a hi or hello to everyone whosoever have joined today. So, as always, today we'll be talking about some of the again new problems which on the continuation of what we solved yesterday. So, Python on the lead code. Right, so we did solve I think a couple of questions yesterday and we tried to submit them and then we did it through Leetcode. So today also the plan is to continue on what we have discussed so far on the Leetcode problems on Python programming. Right, so that's what we're gonna be doing today as well. And let's see how many questions we can solve. Right, so again, welcome to everyone, guys. A very good evening to one and all. I'm monitoring my chat again, so as always. So if anybody have any issues, any concerns regarding any of the concepts which we have covered so far, or anything else in general as well, so regarding their job or data science or whatsoever, right? So do put up your questions in the chat, so we'll take that, right? And I'm monitoring my chat as always. Right. So I always would encourage you to speak up. So that will always help you to take things up. Right. So okay. So we have a question from Sanket. He says, "I want to take competitive programming subscription, but there is no option." Okay. For that, I have always said about the Relevel platform, right? So please do take that, right? So try to take subscription on that. And in fact, in Unacademy in CodeBeyond, so we used to have the Plus membership and the membership earlier. But again, yeah, if you go to the website, you might be getting the details separately there, so you can check that. But again, you can always look for the Relevel also as a platform. So that's one thing which I can suggest. There will be nothing as such on this CodeBeyond channel on YouTube. So if you look directly from the Unacademy, like your application where you would have registered, right? So there you'll be getting an option of Prime membership or Plus membership. Cool. So let's start, guys, quickly. So as always, let's have a quick round of introduction. My name is Arpit Jain, and I'm a senior data scientist myself. I have been working in industry for almost 9 years now, and along with that, I'm also a motivational speaker. So I talk to students, I take industry sessions, I do guide them regarding the career opportunities, the jobs, and all that. So if any concerns regarding any places like industries, jobs, data science, so uh, do put up your question in the chat, guys. So we'll take that, right? And as part of our agenda from the subjects in the playlists, so we have three respective playlists right now: Python, SQL, data science. So Python, we have been doing for quite some time. So we are into the competitive programming questions on Python. So we are doing the questions from HackerRank and the Leetcode, right? I've got a feedback that we can have a separate playlist for the questions. In fact, I'm asking the operations team to do that. So we'll have a separate playlist for all the Python programming questions which we are doing on HackerRank and the Leetcode. So we'll separate them up into a different playlist. So it'll be easier for you to find out the links later for your references, right? So we'll do that. Also for the SQL, we are doing the same thing. So we are now solving, we have in fact covered all the open questions on Leetcode for SQL practice problems as promised. So we'll be doing the premium questions now, right? So from this weekend onwards, we'll be doing the actually my questions on premium sets, right? Great. So okay, we have a spammer here. Just a minute. Okay, cool. Great. So, right. So, anything on top of that, please do let me know. In fact, in the data science part as well. So, we have covered visualization as well as we have covered into things of NLP. So, we have covered NLTK. The plan is to introduce Spacey. We'll be doing that, right? So, we have a plan to work on NLTK. So, we have covered that. So, Spacey will be introduced most probably this week itself, right? So, let's see on that front as well. Great. So, but before proceeding, we have code right in front of the screen, which is Python 10, so you know that. So if we use that code, we're going to get a free bonus Relevel sample test paper, guys, right? So please bear with me for this promotion. I'll come back to your question, Aman. Okay, so we'll just quickly wrap this up and then we'll take the question and we'll start proceeding. Right, so many times candidates do miss out on the great opportunities due to multiple reasons. It could be like they don't have a better degree or might be poor networking, right? So, and by better degree, I mean not having degree from the tier A universities or poor networking. So definitely they don't know the right set of people to talk to for the references, right? And also the resumes through which the students are applying are not really standing out from the 100 other applicants for the same job, right? So that is again, which I believe something very crucial for everyone. I mean, it could be an issue with the resume, to be honest. Might be some keyword missing or something which is totally beyond your control, also, right? And also, you have seen that you're applying to a number of jobs, still you're not getting even a single interview call. To very practical problem, guys. So I would say almost everybody faces that. And to cater those only, Relevel has been introduced by Unacademy, which is India's first test hiring platform, and helping you to get your dream job, right? So here you are purely dependent on your skills and talent, and nothing on any sort of degree or any sort of people networking. So here it's purely based on your knowledge, right? So if you're skilled enough, if you're knowledgeable enough, you will be getting your job. So how does it work? So it's more of an assessment platform, as I've always said. So where you'll be asked to go through an assessment and there'll be certain set of questions. So you'll be it's more of an examination, right? So once you have given that, so the only expectation from you would be to get the best score out of this in this assessment, right? So that's the only expectation. So basically, if you're skilled enough, if you're knowledgeable enough, you should be able to get the score, right? And eventually that's gonna be shared with the companies internally, which have the tie-ups from the Relevel platform. And based on that score, you will be getting the calls from those companies, right? So it's purely on this score, nothing beyond that, right? So that's how it works. So there are certain other benefits also if you participate in this Relevel blessing platform. That includes at least 50 plus companies, including the top startups and the unicorns. They hire directly from the Relevel platform, right? And these include EY, Upgrad, Credit, Tracer, PayUp, and company, many more. And also at least 1,000 plus open job positions right now across three different portfolios. That includes business development, front end, and the back end development. Multiple sub roles available within these. Okay, and this is also completely online, guys. So you can take this from the comfort of your home. So you're not supposed to be physically present anywhere to attempt this test. And the best part is this is completely free. Okay, so you're not paying even a single penny to be part of this test. So you can take this again for no cost, right? The only expectation from you here would be to finish the entire test in a single day's time, and that day could be of your choice, right? So that day could be of your choice, and once you have given the test, the scores will be revealed in a week's time. Okay, that's how it works. And as I've said, it's an assessment. So in assessment, there's a qualifying score as well. So you'll be expected to get at least 70% of the marks, right? So and I mean, higher the better anyway. If you're unable to get this score by any unfortunate reasons, right? So you can always reattempt the test, but that can happen only after 30 days of your first attempt. So always be mindful of that, right? And also, on the other side, if you're one of the top scorers in a particular category in a month, right? So you will be awarded with some exciting goodies that involves MacBook, iPhone, and all that. So again, very good thing to look out, right? So with this Relevel, guys, you are in a unique position to invite interest from the companies instead of you hunting for your own opportunities, right? It's more like once you have given the test, sit back and relax. The companies will start reaching out to you, right? So post your scores are revealed anyway. Registration is also quite easy, guys. So the scores, I mean, the link is there in the YouTube description, right? And once you have done that, so the first thing will be asked to choose the test of your choice, right? So that test could be from three different sections, which I've already said. So business development, front end development, and the back end development, right? So multiple sub roles like sales associate, customer engagement associate, and business development. Likewise, Angular developer, web developer in front end, backend engineer, data engineer in the backend development, right? So multiple sub roles, as I've said, so available within these testing choices. The next would be to book the slots. Slots are limited, right? So you can always book it fast. So slots are limited. So once you have selected the slot, last would be to fill up your demographics. That includes your full name, email ID, birth year, state, along with your gender, right? So and last you have an option of promo code. That's where you have to enter the code Python 10. So you can always use the code Python 10 here to unlock your bonus sample test paper. So if you have used the code at the right place, Python 10, you're gonna see the practice tab on your dashboard, login dashboard, right? So where you have an option to download the sample paper. So you can always download this and be, ready with the set of questions which you can expect in the real assessment, right? So that's a very, I would say, similar set of questions which you can expect in the real assessment. Right? So that's gonna be a major help for you. Right, so guys, do register for the Relevel platform today. If you are actively looking for a job, it's definitely worth trying, right? You are anyway not paying a single penny out of this. So definitely a worth try. So please do register for the platform today. The link is there in the description. And again, we have an official Telegram channel as well. So if you are looking out for schedules and other things, so please do join the channel as well. So that's a one-place stop for you for all of your queries and updates. So do not forget to join this channel, right? So at last, guys, I would request you to do like and share the video. So as my humble request, if you feel that you're getting benefited, do at least like and share the video, right? That's the least I can expect from you. So please do press the bell icon as well. Right, so with this, guys, we are into the content slide. So we'll be talking about my Leetcode problem. So I'll jump into the website. So, but before that, let's take up a few questions. So Aman says, is it good to learn data structure from Python? Why not? Again, it depends what kind of expectation you have from the work. But when you say good to learn, yeah, obviously it's good to learn. So it's a good concept anyway. So yes, to answer your question, yes. But again, look out for your objective. What do you want to do post that, right? Again, Amay has a question. Hello, sir. I have hands on Java. Can I convert logic of a question Python to Java? Yeah, obviously, see, again, you have to understand a couple of things. The same problem can be worked in a number of languages, right? On the lead code, you might have seen the same problem has, I would say, at least 7 to 8 IDEs to solve, right? So you can solve the same question on C Sharp, on C++, on Java, on Python, on like multiple languages, right? Scala. So there are a lot of multiple languages on which you can solve the same problem, right? So language is never a barrier. So it's all like, uh, I mean, technically, if you talk about from the organization perspective, so what is the backend? How on which platform you're going to run this, right? So if a logical platform is on Java, which is a Java-based platform, then yes, Java is then the Python solution will not work. Or you might have to find some plugin to integrate your Python codes in Java. There are plugins available, right? So it's more like how you can fine tune the things and start working on top of that. But generally, if I talk about some specific requirements, if I talk about say data science, right? So in data science, I would say 95% of the things are based on Python now, right? So because of the integration capabilities of Python, open source anyway, and you can just export, import it anywhere, right? So that's the way I would say. But again, depending on the use case totally, right? So Nair, please tell where to learn a DSA in Python and playlist. I'm searching from more than 2 3 months. Why do you don't make a playlist in Python DSA if there isn't any yet on YouTube? Okay, so we can do that. In fact, that's a good feedback, to be honest. So we can do that. But as always, due to the restrictions of confidentiality, I cannot name any such blog or such like that. Please Google it. I can only say that. So please Google it. You might find some interesting blogs for that. Look out for the blogs and then go to the playlist or some online tutorials if you find it. But I'll take this as a feedback and maybe we can try to introduce Python DSA also. We can do that. Why not? Cool. Great. So let's jump to Leetcode and start solving your problems. Just give me a minute. Let me pull up the browser. Right. So my screen is pretty much visible to you guys. So I'm gonna log into Leetcode and then let's solve the problems today. Cool. So where we were, I don't remember the question we saw last. We have a question from Venkatesh Rao. Yes, I'll be teaching full Python. In fact, I'm on the verge of that. See, full Python, there is just a myth in what I have understood in my life. Full Python, okay. But yeah, so we're trying to practice as much as we can, right? And in fact, if you have any specific topic like Nayar has mentioned about DSA, so we can introduce that. If you have any specific topic which you want me to cover earlier than something else, you can just pick up the topic and then we can do that. Thank you so much, Nayar. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so we can do that. So yeah, I'll take that as a feedback, and then I'll try to add Python DSA also in my playlist. Yeah, why not? So we can do that. Okay, cool. So let's jump to our question. So I think yeah. So we submitted this one yesterday, so I could see a tick mark here. Yeah. So we submitted this. So I think this is pretty much done. So let's solve this one. So it's an easy problem. So we're gonna skip hard. Okay, we can take hard also. It's fine, but let's stick to easy and the medium ones first, and then let's take the hard question. But anyway, let's solve this one. Should be easy. It should be an easy question to start with. But let's see. So we'll solve this one, and let's wait. Let's proceed for the next other questions. Cool. So we have the question ready in front of us. So we have the class solution, right? So where we have the things mentioned. So here what we have. Cool. So let's write up things. Cool. So we're gonna still follow the same thing. So we have inputs, we have outputs, and then we have what? So we have constraints, and then we are having flow. Cool. So we're gonna follow the same structure as always. So the question says given an integer x, okay? So given an integer x, so basically x is my input and it's an integer, okay? Return true if x is a palindrome integer. Okay. True if x is palindrome integer. Okay. Well, an integer is when it reads the same backwards as forward, right? Obviously. So for example, 121 is a palindrome while 123 is not, right? So basically, I think what we can do here is we can just reverse the thing and then let's try to find out. Cool. Great. So input is 121. So output is true, obviously. So 121 reads left and right the same. Minus 121 false. Okay, interesting. So explanation from left to right, it reads minus 121. From right to left, it becomes 121 minus. Okay. So basically, it's in string. So basically, they are doing it through string of my Python. Right? Is it so string of my end? So it's not palindrome. Okay. So it's again an edge condition. So we'll have to look out this. So constraint lookout for negative condition. Okay, so we'll mention that. I think this is an edge condition which we have to look out for. Also, input is x is equal to 10, so output is false. Explanation reads 0 1 from right to left, so therefore it is not in palindrome. Okay. So in fact, also look out for leading zeros after reverse. Okay, so we have the two constraints kind of a thing, so we can think of this. So other things are fine. So follow up. Okay, cool, great. So let's have a flow of this problem statement. I think it's not that tricky anyway. So what we're gonna do is I think here what we can think of is basically flow is take the integer x, right, and then what we can do is we can reverse it. So reverse logic would come here. So we have seen two logics, right? So we can either solve it through string. We seen yesterday a problem, right? So where we reverse the characters using the string, right? So we did that. But here we can do either string or we can also do it through my numbers basically. So the numbers. So both of the logics are fine. So we can either go through strings or numbers. So both are equally fine. So you can do that. And also, so what we can do. So after this, now after reversing, so we can compare the original and reverse x. So that's what we have. In between we have to take out the condition. So basically here somehow we have to implement negative and zero conditions. Cool. So that's what I can think of, right? Guys, anything else, do let me know. So I think, right, so this is what we have. It's a class. I think there's a function. There should be some function which is missing. So we can write a function here. We can write some, okay. What is this function? So we have palindrome, right? So I don't know what the function should be. So maybe like palindrome, right? So we have the function here. So we're going to write x. So basically self, and we're going to write x, and then we're going to have this. So we will be having all of these. Cool. So fair enough. I think it looks like a pretty simple question, guys. So anybody has any concerns, just do let me know that. Cool. So great. Let's try to find out here. So basically in this case, what I've understood is anything which is less than 0, right? Less than 0, which is negative, is gonna be false anyway, right? So basically for in this condition, what I can think of is all values less than 0 gonna be giving so basically in this case return 0, or sorry, false, right? So in this case it's going to be returning false. Basically I have for whatever values we have here, so wherever it is less than negative value, so we're going to use the false here, so it's going to be false here, and then in this case, and then in this case what will we have? So we have the leading zeros condition also, right? So what if we have the 0 condition? What if the x is 0? So okay, I think for 0 also we might have to write something. So let's do that. So all values less than 0, and then we have value equal to 0. I think this case would be true, right? So yeah, 0, yeah, it should be true. So in this case, return true, and then else, so, right? So that's what my conditions have been taken care of. So now I have to look for my reversing of my integers, basically, right? So now in this case I'll be having my else condition. So where just copy these things, so I'll be writing on this, right? So all of my integers logic will come. Cool. So let's try to find out my logic here. So basically what can I do here is so what all can I do? So I can think of how should I solve it. So I have to, for all of my integers, so I have to go integer wise, right? So basically all of my integers at this place, and right. So let's solve it through what, numbers logic. Let's solve it through numbers logic, modulus, percent, 10 and all that, right? So let's do that, right? So what we can do. So till the time my so we can do one thing. So we can just define a reverse list. So that will be my empty list. Okay, so we can just keep on appending the values there and then join it later. That also we can do, right? So we can just keep on appending the digits. Yeah, we can do that. So let's do that. And in fact, so we have a reverse string here. So we can define while my x is greater than 0. So till the time my x is greater than 0, so we're going to have digit which is equal to my x of modulus, sorry, percent. We'll be writing x of percent. This is going to be my first digit, right? So in this is what you're going to do. So we're going to just append. So this list going to be appended with my digit. So I've extracted my digit. So I'll just keep on extracting the digits every time. So and then we're gonna have x. Okay, so rather I can define a temp here first. I can store the temp as an x, and then I can just keep on dividing it. So rather doing it for x, let's do it for temp. In fact, let's while temp is greater than 0, this is equal to temp% x, and now I'm gonna say temp is equal to my temp of 10. Cool. So I've just taken the float division of 10, and now in this case what I can do, so till the time it's gonna be 0, so it'll be running in the loop, right? So I'll be having the appended list here in my reverse, right? And now in this case what can I do? So here, while this is fine, so in this case I can say, so my reverse of elements, right? So I have my reverse here, so I can get the original here with the reverse of colon -1, right? So I can just reverse it, right? So and then we're gonna so what can we do? So we have this original value here, and now we can just compare. So if in this case, if original is equal to my reverse, right? Basically, now in this case, my right, so my integer elements or my original elements, if this is true, then I'm gonna say return, or I can just simplify this. Why to write this? So I can just write it like this. So I can do return original is equal to reverse. Cool. So it's gonna be original is equal to reverse equal to reverse here. So we have this. I think this should be fine. So and then we can implement for these all logic also. We can actually keep them later. So let's do it for if. So we have an if condition here. If what? So if basically my x is greater than x is greater than 0, right? So if x is greater than 0, so then I'm gonna be having all of these drama, which is done, right? Now else, so right, so I'm gonna put up the conditions here. So else so I'm gonna have this basically elif. If elif my x is say less than 0, right? So L is less than 0, return false. Else x is equal to 0, right? So I think I missed that. And then if x is equal to 0, then return true. Cool. I think this is pretty much fine. Cool, guys. Okay, let me just quickly take up the chats. A lot of text, guys. Just a minute, please. So क्या लिख दिया लोगों ने यार? If x is then true, yes, correct. ठीक है. n% 10 and float, and yes, absolutely correct, because don't use list, that brings us the extra space. Yeah, it does. No, we can directly reverse the number. Yeah, we can reverse the directly number also. We can do that. Yeah, that is also true. Totally, because that is totally true. Steps are simple. Space complexity is which is better. I totally agree that. In fact, I have told you this. See, again, I'm least bothered about the space complexity and the time complexity here, to be honest. So I'm just looking to have the right solution. I've already said, so that matters once you're very much practiced, right? So I'm looking for an optimized solution once you are into the business. I've told you that, right? So, but still, yes, you're absolutely right. So if you're confident enough, yes, that's, I would say, still you can save some space and time complexity there. Yes, string method solution से भी कर सकते हैं. तो in fact कल हमने string से ही करा था यार एक question. So I thought to do it from this. Sign is taken care in the first step only. Yes, absolutely. Check this step. Okay, so if x is less than return false, return reverse number of x. हाँ, absolutely. In fact यही मैं करना चाह रहा हूँ. तो ये sign का ड्रामा ही नहीं कर रहा था. x greater than 0 है तो same time पे return false कर दिया हमने. Right, yes, absolutely. So what if the input s plus 10? So input else वाला incorrect syntax. Else वाला incorrect syntax क्या है यार? कौन सा incorrect हो गया? I think सही तो है, मुझे सही तो लग रहा है. क्या गलत कर दिया मैंने यार? कुछ है क्या? इनफैक्ट एक काम करता हूँ, इतना बार बार करने की ज़रूरत ही नहीं है. फिर एक काम करता हूँ, इसको ऊपर करता हूँ, x is इसको इक्वल टू 0 कर देता हूँ ना. सो ये रिटर्न हो जाएगा ट्रू, एंड देन एल्स में लिखने की कोई ज़रूरत ही नहीं है ना. सो ये एब्सोल्युटली करेक्ट. सो एल्स So yes, Babri is absolutely correct. Yeah, right. Yeah, my bad. So my bad. Right. So x split melon musk, yes absolutely. Return x split से भी कर सकते हैं यार, क्यों नहीं कर सकते हैं, बिल्कुल कर सकते हैं. रिटर्न एक्स कोलन -1 से भी कर सकते हैं. एल्स में कंडीशन है तो हाँ यार, एल्स में नहीं होता, वो मैंने मिस्टेकली गलती से लिख दिया था वहाँ पे. ग्रेट. सो क्विकली गाइस लेट्स सबमिट दिस. चेक करते हैं क्या है ना. आई थिंक लॉजिक तो सही लग रहा है मुझे. चेक करते हैं, पता नहीं कुछ कहीं कहीं इशू होता है तो विल सॉल्व दिस. ओके, सिंटेक्स एरर कहाँ पे सिंटेक्स एरर है यार. अरे शिट, माय बैड. ओके. इस पैलिंड्रोम, अच्छा इस फंक्शन का नाम इसने इस पैलिंड्रोम यूज़ किया हुआ है. ओके सो इसको इस पैलिंड्रोम ही करना पड़ेगा मुझे. ओके. टू. चलो ये तो सही है, एक बार इसको सबमिट करके देखते हैं क्विकली. ग्रेट. सो चलो एक्सेप्ट भी हो गया, फर्स्ट टाइम में एक्सेप्ट हो गया यार. सही. चलो वेरी गुड गाइस. सो ये हमने कर लिया. आई थिंक ये लॉजिक तो सॉल्व है, इसमें किसी को कोई कंसर्न नहीं. आई थिंक दिस वाज अ सिंपल प्रॉब्लम ओनली. अगेन इसमें दो तीन ऑप्शंस हमने ऑलरेडी एक्सप्लोर कर लिया. सो वी कुड हैव सॉल्व्ड यूजिंग सिंपल स्प्लिट लिस्ट. आई थिंक समबडी वाज टॉकिंग अबाउट इन द चैट. एंड ऑल्सो वी कैन डू इट थ्रू स्ट्रिंग ऑल्सो. आई थिंक स्ट्रिंग हमने कल ही करा था. आई थिंक एक इंटीजर्स रिवर्स का कोई प्रॉब्लम था आई गेस, साइन वाइन करना था उसमें. सो स्ट्रिंग से भी कर सकते हैं. दोनों सब पॉसिबल है यार. आई मीन देयर इज नो हार्ड एंड फास्ट रूल कि किससे ही करना है. आई कैन हैव एज आई सेड दैट. सो मल्टीपल ऑप्शंस है ना, सो मल्टीपल तरीके से कर सकते हैं. कूल. सो चलो लेट्स मूव टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. Okay, so 10. So I think we have another hard question here. So 4 is another. So I think somebody was talking about the fourth number of question, right? Yeah, so I think I saw that somewhere. Yeah. Okay, so again, guys, what we can do is maybe we can have one separate session for the hard questions. So I believe if we do it right now, once we have started, so let's take hard questions for some other session. Maybe we can club it together, or if you guys still want, we can maybe do one hard question also. I'm okay with that. But again, I would recommend that let's stick to the medium and the easy questions, because that's where you'll develop your flow to code. But again, so I'm okay to take this 10th question also. I'm fine with that. So if I problem number 4, Vikash. So Vikash is saying problem number 4. So anybody else is looking for problem number 4? Problem number 3. So I think 3 हमने करा हुआ है शायद. 3 हमने शायद करा हुआ है. I think I missed the hard question, so I skipped that hard question. But I think third हमने करा हुआ है, if I'm not wrong. Let's see that solution होना चाहिए इसमें. Yeah, solution already है यार इसमें. So I think we have already done this question. Right, impact request का submit पे भी check कर लेते हैं. Wrong answer. Okay, submit में wrong answer है इसका. यही कर लें क्या? We have to figure out में इसमें I think कोई edge condition missing है इसमें. We have to check that. Guys, I'm confused. इसमें क्या करें? A round length A/2 median fourth वाला. I'm okay to do any question, guys. I'm little confused. आप लोग क्या कह रहे हो? So 3 कह रहे हो, 4 कह रहे हो, क्या करूँ पहले? एक साथ सब तो नहीं कर सकते, है ना? क्या कहते हो यार? क्या करूँ बताओ? 3 में सबमिशन पेंडिंग है. So I think इसमें I think कोई ना कोई edge condition मिस हुआ होगा. कोड तो लॉजिक सही है, but we have to look out for some edge condition, so we can look at that. So in fact एक काम करते हैं यार, है ना? I would still recommend let's do problem number 4. चलो ठीक है, let's do problem number 4. देखते हैं क्या है. ये भी तो आई थिंक एक सेकेंड रुको. ये मैंने ऑलरेडी शायद सॉल्व किया हुआ है इस क्वेश्चन को. आई हैव डन इट सेपरेटली. इसको नहीं करते हैं, 4 को एक काम नहीं करते हैं, एक काम करते हैं, इसको करते हैं, 10th को करते हैं. Let's take one hard problem. ओके, चलो इसको करते हैं, 10th को करते हैं, क्या है राइट। हाँ, ये डीपी का प्रॉब्लम लग रहा है मुझे भी। चलो ठीक है, इसको ही करते हैं, कोई दिक्कत नहीं। चलो लेट्स अगेन वी गोना फॉलो द सेम प्रोसेस हियर। इनपुट्स, आउटपुट्स, constraints, and then we gonna have flow। यार मिलन मस्क कह रहा है रैंडमली करो। रैंडमली से क्या फ़र्क पड़ जाएगा यार, करना तो सभी है। तो वाई टू ब्रेक द फ्लो, साथ में ही करते हैं। व्हाट्स द प्रॉब्लम इन दैट। चलो, given an input string s and a pattern p, so given an input string s, okay, and a pattern p, okay, implement regular expression matching with support for a dot and star, where dot matches any single character and star matches zero or more of the preceding element. Okay, so let's write it down what we have. So basically s is my input string, okay, so p is the pattern what we have, right? Now implement regular expression matching with support for dot and star, okay. uh, okay, so cool, fair enough. So here I'll just copy paste this thing in my inputs part. So matches any single character and star matches zero or more of the preceding element, fair enough, ठीक है। We'll see the explanation also. The matching should cover the entire input string, not partial. Okay, okay, fair enough, cool. So input में मेरे पास है s double a and then p में मेरे पास है a. So basically input है string s double a and then मेरे पास pattern p है a. So a is not matching double a, so false हो गया, ठीक है, explanation correct है। And now here मेरे पास double a है and star है. So basically here in this case true because star means zero or more of the preceding element, right? Correct. So a, therefore by repeating a once it becomes double a. Cool, great. So fair enough. ये a मेरा star लगा के double a बन गया. So मेरे पास यहाँ पे ये double a से match हो जाएगा, तो star अगर मैंने लगा दिया तो this should work, right? Cool. And again मेरे पास अगर dot है, dot star है, so dot का क्या meaning था? Matches any single character. So basically uh, okay, so here star means zero or more star of any character star. Cool. So basically here any character में से मैं कुछ भी ले सकता हूँ, a ले लेता हूँ यहाँ से अगर for example, and then we have a star in front of us. So basically सारे characters match करेगा वो. Cool. Good. This is an interesting question. चलो ठीक है गाइस, और कॉन्स्टेंट्स देख लेते हैं। सो आई थिंक वन इज कॉन्स्टेंट क्या है भाई हमारे पास, एस डॉट लेंथ जो है मेरे पास, एस क्या इनपुट लेंथ है ना, सो वो आओ, सो 1 और 20 के बीच में होना चाहिए, फेयर इनफ। एंड पैटर्न लेंथ मेरे पास ये होना चाहिए, इसमें भी कोई टेंशन नहीं है। एस कंटेन्स ओनली लोअर केस इंग्लिश लेटर्स, सो एस इज अरे यार आउटपुट क्या करना था मुझे, so basically output is true or false, right? So true or false if pattern matches, है ना। so constraints तो हो गए दो, और क्या है, s is a lower case, so s क्या है, lower case English letter, है ना। cool. और क्या क्या है भाई, p क्या है, contains only lower case letters star and hash, तो star basically आपका p में नहीं हो सकता, इसमें सॉरी एस में नहीं हो सकता, पी में स्टार हो सकता है, हाँ हो सकता है, लोअर केस प्लस आपका यहाँ पे स्टार एंड डॉट, ठीक है, ये दोनों हो सकता है मेरे पास इसमें। इट इज़ गारंटीड फॉर ईच अपीयरेंसेस ऑफ द कैरेक्टर स्टार देयर विल बी अ प्रीवियस वैलिड कैरेक्टर टू मैच, ठीक है। सो बेसिकली मेरा ये इट इज़ मेकिंग श्योर दैट देयर इज़ नो एम्प्टी कैरेक्टर, है ना. सो इससे मेरा एम्प्टी कैरेक्टर का प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. सो बेसिकली एम्प्टी कैरेक्टर does not exist if are present. कुछ that's what is ये कह रहे हैं. हाँ, या विकास आउटपुट बुलियन में है, करेक्ट. चलो ठीक है, ग्रेट. सो आई थिंक और तो कुछ भी नहीं है. कूल, ग्रेट, ठीक है गाइस. अब चलो क्विकली, अब आप लोग मुझे बताओ इसमें फ्लो क्या कर सकते हैं. मेरे को पहले आप यू गाइस जस्ट टेल मी व्हाट यू थिंक द फ्लो शुड बी. अब जस्ट टाइप 2-3 लाइन्स इन इंग्लिश. मैं कोडिंग नहीं पूछ रहा हूँ आपसे, आई विल डू द कोडिंग टुगेदर, बट जस्ट टेल मी हाउ, व्हाट इज योर थॉट प्रोसेस, हाउ विल यू सॉल्व दिस प्रॉब्लम. I'm thinking of 2-3 steps, so I'll just solve it right away. I mean, with our logic in our class. But again, let's try to think about the problem, right? Let's try to think about it. How what do you think about the problem? How we can solve this? Quickly, guys, take a minute and just tell me about the flow. How we can think about the problem. So meanwhile, I'll just also try to write down the things. राइट. सो अभी हम क्या क्या कर सकते हैं इसमें. मेरे को इनपुट स्ट्रिंग है मेरे पास, राइट. सो इनपुट है एस. सो एस डेफिनेटली हमें क्या क्या चेक, कॉन्स्टेंट्स क्या क्या है. लेंथ का कॉन्स्टेंट चेक कर लेंगे. सो लेंथ बेसिकली लेंथ चेक ऑफ एस एक मुझे समझ में आ रहा है. एंड व्हाट ऑल वी हैव. सो वी कैन डू for each of my characters basically I have to do the character matching, right. So इसके बाद हम क्या कर सकते हैं. सो कैरेक्टर मैच पर स्ट्रिंग विथ पैटर्न. कूल, ये करना होगा हमें. इसमें लॉजिक आएगा बेसिकली हमारा. दिस इज वेयर लॉजिक शुड कम, एंड दिस ऑल्सो इंक्लूड्स माई स्टार एज वेल एज डॉट. सो आई हैव टू मेक श्योर दैट दिस इज द मीनिंग ऑफ स्टार एंड डॉट, है ना. सो एंड हम इसमें क्या कर सकते हैं. और तो मेरे को ऐसा कुछ समझ में नहीं आ रहा है. सो और तो कुछ मेरे को ऐसा कुछ नहीं दिख रहा है गाइस. आपको कुछ समझ में आ रहा है? एनीथिंग व्हिच यू गाइस कैन थिंक ऑफ. मे बी वी कैन ऑल्सो डू कैरेक्टर वाइज अगर आप मैचिंग करते हैं इसमें. सो फॉर माई स्टार, so we have to define what my star should be like, right. So maybe in this case I can also think of writing something, maybe what. So we can still have one more condition where we can actually define what will be my actual appearances, right. So yes, and one condition also. So making sure my star and I mean edge condition of, एक बार लिख देता हूँ, edge condition for star sorry dot star alone, है ना. so ये बिकॉज करेक्टर में मैच नहीं करेगा. so अगर सिर्फ डॉट और स्टार पैटर्न में है, so we have to make sure कि ये भी हैंडल्ड हो रहा है, राइट. गाइस, any question, any concern in this. लेकिन इसके अलावा तो मुझे एज सच कुछ प्रॉब्लम नहीं दिख रहा है इसमें. आई एम प्रीटी मच ओके टू सॉल्व दिस प्रॉब्लम. ओके, चलो क्विकली करते हैं इसको. हम कैसे कर सकते हैं. अभी हमारे पास और क्या क्या ऑप्शंस हैं. अगर इसको हम सिर्फ पैटर्न से भी, अगर हम रेगुलर एक्सप्रेशन के पैटर्न से भी अगर मैचिंग करें तो so we can still do that ना. अगर हमने रेगुलर एक्सप्रेशन ही डाल दिया यहाँ पे, so what if we do a रेगुलर एक्सप्रेशन कंपाइल. ये भी तो एक सोल्यूशन हो सकता है ना. हम सिंपल रेगुलर एक्सप्रेशन से भी कंपेयर कर सकते हैं. नहीं, आई थिंक इसमें फिर स्टार में अगर हमें प्रॉब्लम आ सकता है. ठीक है, चलो लेट्स स्टार्ट कोडिंग ना. कुछ एरर आती है तो विल स्टार्ट सॉल्व इट. विल ट्राई टू सॉल्व इट. कूल, थोड़ा सा इंटरेस्टिंग क्वेश्चन है ये. इसमें एक बार लॉजिक बन जाएगा ना तो वो थोड़ा सा इजी हो जाएगा. चलो ठीक है, अभी कैसे करें इसको. अभी हमारे पास क्या क्या है इसमें अवेलेबल. सबसे पहले हमारे पास इसमें सो वी हैव अ स्ट्रिंग एस, राइट. सो स्ट्रिंग एस में what we can do, so we can actually take the pattern. So basically S is also a string and P is also a string. So we can, yeah, so when we can start with the lengths of my string. So basically we can just, what we can do, start comparing with my, so my sparse matrix. So we can have the base condition first, and then we can create the array of my strings, right? So we can do that. Cool, let's do that. So basically, now let's save. So we're gonna make an array of this. So we're gonna have, so let's make it like this. So we're gonna have the rows and the columns. Okay, so let's have the rows and columns out of it. And for this gonna be my length of, so we're gonna be having the length of my specifically S, and that's gonna be my length of my specifically length of P, right? So that's gonna be my one specific initialization process, right? So on top of this, so we're gonna have the edge condition. So now if my length, so basically length check. So on this conditions we have to do, right? Right, so absolutely. So if length is 0, so yes, we have to input the length 0 का भी condition करना पड़ेगा यार मेरे को. So if rows basically, so rows मेरा length हो गया. So if rows is equal to 0, right? If rows is equal to 0 and also columns is equal to 0. So basically columns like length of P. Na? So if these both are basically 0, so then I'm gonna do true. Okay, so I'm gonna return, no, so I'm gonna just return true here. Okay, so in this case anyway it's fine, so there's no length, right? So there's no problem in this. Now again in this case, if what if my, no, let's not do that. So right, so I think this is sufficient enough, right? So I don't think I have anything else. So we have lowercase and the length checks, and then I have the leading zeros also, right? So zeros हमने कर दिया. I don't see any edge condition here. ठीक है. So I think ये enough है. अब यहाँ से हम अपना array formation का करते हैं. ठीक है. So basically अब मेरे पास columns है of my length of P. So my pattern, right? So इस pattern का हमने अगर length निकाला, so range of my columns, that's gonna be if I take a +1 of my range of my columns, right? So a length of my pattern +1, right? And I do that, and likewise I can do it +1 for range of my my rows, and I just keep on appending the false on top of that, right? So initialization of my arrays would be what? So if I can just create a dynamic DP here, which is gonna be my array of what? So it's gonna be my false for I can say for I in my range of my columns columns +1, right? So that's going to be the false for this, and then it's going to be my first part. It's going to be my first part of my array, and then I'm going to have this for j in my range of rows +1. Cool. So we can create this. So this is my DP array, right? And since the empty string and the empty pattern are also a match, so we have an empty string and also the empty pattern, right? They are also the match, right? So in this case, we have to specify that DP of 0 and also DP of 0. So for my rows and columns, this is also true, right? So this is basically true in this case, right? So we have to mention that. Now what to deal with the patterns containing star? So now we have to implement my the conditions where we have the star, right? So what can we do in this case? So we have my columns, right? So for my stars, rows and columns, so my pattern, so pattern's gonna be coming from my columns, right? So columns, right? So I have to do an indexing है, थोड़ा tricky हो रहा है यार. कैसे करें इसको? So for columns plus one, okay. So columns में अगर मैं length of columns में अगर plus one करता हूँ, so okay, चलो ये करते हैं. Let's code it. So basically क्या करें इसको? अभी मैं यहाँ पे बेसिकली क्या करना चाह रहा हूँ, मैं ना इसको इम्प्लीमेंट करना चाह रहा हूँ स्टार लॉजिक, है ना, स्टार का लॉजिक इम्प्लीमेंट करना चाह रहा हूँ. तो डू फॉर I in range of my values of columns, so it's gonna be 1, right? So 1 of columns plus 1, 0 1, right? I think शायद सही है ये. So try करते हैं. So it's gonna be what? So it's gonna be okay. So again for this, if no, so let's start with 2 in this case. So if p of no sorry if p of I minus 1 is equal to star, so I just figured out if this is star in this case for the logic. So I'm gonna say that in this case, if this is true, then my array dp of 0 and I, right? So if my dp of my 0 and I becomes what? dp of my 0 and dp of my 0 and it'll be I minus 1, no, I minus 2, yeah. So yeah, I think guys, this looks good to me. So if for I in range of 2 of columns plus 1, so if p of I minus 1 is equal to 0, is equal to star, so I'm going to say that if dp of 0 of I correct, and then it's going to be 0 of I minus 2 correct. I think this in this case, so we're going to have the logic of my star mention, है ना. So basically मैं copy कर दूंगा इसमें, correct. ठीक है, इसमें कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं. आई थिंक ये मेरे को सही लग रहा है. इसमें स्टार का लॉजिक तो इम्प्लीमेंटेड है. ठीक है. अब नाउ फॉर रिमेनिंग कैरेक्टर्स. सो अब एक बार अब हम लोग को स्टार का पार्ट हो गया. अब एक काम करते हैं, अब अदर कैरेक्टर्स की बात करते हैं. सो अदर कैरेक्टर्स की बात करते हैं इन दिस केस. सो यहाँ पे हम कैसे करेंगे? अब मेरे को हर एक में लिखना पड़ेगा, तो पहले रोज से मैच करना पड़ेगा. सो बेसिकली लूपिंग होगा, लूपिंग ऑन रोज फर्स्ट होगा. सो रोज के हर एक कैरेक्टर को लूंगा पहले मैं, एंड देन लूपिंग ऑन कॉलम्स होना चाहिए, है ना. सो लूपिंग ऑन रेंज ऑफ कॉलम्स ऑब्वियसली. सो एंड दैट्स गोना बी, एंड देन दिस इज वेयर आई एम गोना डू माय इफ कंडीशन, राइट. सो इफ कंडीशन ऑफ मैचिंग. सो अगेन आई थिंक इसमें एक चीज़ और है. सो आई थिंक स्टार का भी लिखना पड़ेगा मुझे. सो इफ इधर यहाँ पे स्टार का भी लॉजिक आएगा, लॉजिक ऑफ सॉरी स्टार कह रहा हूँ, डॉट का लॉजिक आएगा. एक डॉट भी मुझे फिगर आउट करना पड़ेगा, एंड देन ठीक है. आई थिंक दिस शुड बी फाइन. चलो लेट्स डू दैट quickly. Let's do that. So now looping on the rows. So पहले now what we're doing is we're trying to find out each of my variables, so each of my characters here, and then trying to find out specifically on my individual characters, right? So looping over my rows. So for each of my rows, so for I in range of, so here my rows is basically my length of my s, right? So yes, so I have to start with my res, and I start with the 1. It's gonna be my length of, sorry, so I can just write rows here, right? So rows, and then we're gonna have plus 1, right? So that's gonna be rows of for I in range of 1, and then rows plus 1, right? And then we're gonna have for j in range. In this case, I'm gonna say 1 comma columns plus 1, right? So basically now I'm doing the characters. So these two parts are sorted. It's done. Now my if conditions, right? So now I have to implement my logic of my dot and then my other conditions of my star, right? So Great. So now where the dot should come, guys? So dot should be part of my where. So dot should be part of my minus one character of my I, right? So I is when you're running from 1 to rows plus 1. So it should be I minus 1, correct? So it should be, yeah. So if my s of I minus 1, right? So if s of I minus 1 is anyway equal to p of j minus 1, right? So p of j minus 1 in this case, or in fact if this is also my star, so this can also be dot, right? So they've mentioned that it can either start with the same character or also start with a dot, right? So I have to also mention that, or if p of same character j minus 1, if this is also equal to dot, right? So इस dot से भी start हो सकता है ये, correct? So if this is equal to p j minus 1, correct? और अच्छा if नहीं होगा यहाँ पे, और if sorry if और p of j minus 1 is equal to dot, so दोनों ही valid है ना, correct? So in this case I'm gonna alter my array, so it's gonna be dp of I comma I of j. So dp of my I of j, that will be my array, that will become what? So it will become my I minus 1 and j minus 1, right? Correct. So dp of I minus 1 and dp of j minus 1. Cool. इसमें कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, बिकॉज इन दिस केस आई एम जस्ट गोना दैट्स व्हाट इट सेज, राइट? सो स्टार को हम कॉपी कर देंगे I minus 1 करेक्टर से. कूल. इसमें कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, इसमें हम जस्ट रेप्लिकेट कर देंगे, मतलब अगर डॉट है मेरे पास वो सिंगल करेक्टर को वो कॉपी करेगा, राइट? सो आई हैव जस्ट डन दैट. कूल. सो दिस इज फाइन, इसमें कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, ये पैटर्न मैच हो गया मेरे पास. अब क्या कंडीशन है? नाउ इफ अब क्या कंडीशन आता है? सो इफ मेरे पास और क्या क्या कंडीशन है यार? सो अब मेरे पास अगर स्टार है ना, so अब डॉट के बाद अगर स्टार भी आता है, सो दैट ऑल्सो कैन हैपन. सो बेसिकली नहीं, बट अगर डॉट स्टार है, सो डॉट स्टार की कंडीशन में क्या है? ओनली 2 कैरेक्टर्स हैं, राइट? सो ओनली 2 कैरेक्टर्स है मेरे पास. सो इन दिस केस आई कैन से दैट elif if my p of j j sorry, so मेरे पास स्टार है वहाँ पे, राइट? so p of j minus 1 in this case is equal to स्टार, राइट? बट अगेन ये लॉजिक फिट नहीं बैठ रहा है यहाँ पे. सो अगर ये स्टार फर्स्ट पे चेक किया तो प्रॉब्लम हो जाएगी, राइट? सो आई कैन जस्ट से दैट ऑल्सो एंड j इज ग्रेटर देन 1. सो सॉर्ट हो गया, तो 0 पे नहीं चेक करेगा, राइट? सो ये j ग्रेटर देन 1 पे चेक करेगा. हाँ, कूल, दिस इज फाइन देन. I can just have an AND condition of j also. So if this is fine, so now I am checking that if dot star condition is there. So in this case, I have to take j minus 2, because in this case, all the characters will be copied, right? Yeah. So dp of I of j is gonna be dp of what? So in this case, is gonna be my j minus 2, and I will remain the intact, right? So because I'm just using the same characters a and b, so here I'm just using this logic. So dp of I of j is gonna become dp of j minus 2. Cool. So this is again sorted. I think ये दो condition हो गया. अब for other conditions where these two conditions are not met, right? So this is the part. I think we are pretty much done. I think we have not missed any condition. So have we missed any other condition? This is true. So we have this is fine, and what if we can have 2 dots or 2 star also? Kya? I don't see that as an edge condition. Okay, chalo, we'll see that. I think this looks pretty much good to me. So let's put it in the else only. So let's put it in the else. Looks good to me. So if everything is good, so now I'm gonna return my dp of, so for all of my for which is done, so my my dps are updated accordingly, right? So now for this for, I'm gonna just return dp of my rows and dp of my columns. Cool. So I think looks good to me. I don't think I've missed any point, but let's see. I'll just run this. I think I might have missed a condition here at the last. I think of something here. But ठीक है, एक बार check करते हैं if this is fine. Meanwhile, I'll just go through the codes, guys. Syntax error, I will check that. Meanwhile, बहुत सारे comments here. You know any, so don't find any language specific playlist. I have theoretical knowledge and concepts here. Okay, I think you guys are discussing. ठीक है. Well, if होना है ना सही है, but syntax error in else. हाँ ठीक है, लॉजिक सही लग रहा है. एल्स में देखता हूँ सिंटेक्स एरर कहाँ आ रही है यार. सिंटेक्स एरर क्या कर दिया मैंने, समझा नहीं मैं यार. अच्छा ओके, हाँ वो एल्स में तो ओके बेसिकली मेरे पास ये एल्स. ओके सो बेसिकली मेरे को एल एफ पे ही लिखना पड़ेगा. तो ओके आई वाज थिंकिंग इट राइट. सो लेट्स हैव अनदर कंडीशन. सो वी कैन आल्सो थिंक ऑफ. Okay, let's try to run it first. I was also thinking of one more thing. So answer is good. Answer is good. So logic is fine. Yeah. So I think we have covered both the topics here, right? So j minus one वाला भी हो गया and minus two में अगर star है, so basically dot star वाला भी logic covered हो गया. I think this is fine. Submit करते हैं. I think कोई ना कोई edge condition होगा जो छूट गया होगा. Let's check that. हाँ देखो कोई ना कोई एज कंडीशन छूट गया ना. अभी देखो क्या प्रॉब्लम है. आई थिंक एक कोई एज कंडीशन छूट गई, तो इसको सॉल्व करते हैं. सो इनपुट है मेरे पास डबल ए है ना, एंड देन डबल ए एंड ए स्टार. सो उसने उसको फॉल्स कर दिया. एक्सपेक्टेड ट्रू. सो स्टार वाला लॉजिक इसने नहीं उठाया. अच्छा एक सेकेंड देखता हूँ यार क्या प्रॉब्लम हो गई. स्टार वाला लॉजिक उसने उठाया नहीं. ओके इसमें कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं लग रहा है ये तो. For I in a range of my two of columns plus one, इंडेक्सिंग तो सही लग रही है. आई माइनस टू ही होगा ना. हाँ आई माइनस टू ही तो होगा. ओके इसमें क्या, एक सेकंड देखता हूँ इसमें क्या प्रॉब्लम हो रही है. ओके सो चलो अभी मेरे पास क्या कंडीशंस हैं, अभी वापस इवेलुएट करते हैं. आई माइनस वन है इक्वल टू जे माइनस वन. ठीक है अभी मेरे को इसमें प्रॉब्लम नहीं लग रही है. आई थिंक यहाँ पे मेरे को ना एक और कंडीशन देना पड़ेगा. ये तो हमने सिर्फ स्टार कर दिया एल एफ स्टार. अब चलो व्हाट इफ आई एम थिंकिंग ऑफ वन मोर सिनारियो. इफ माई माइनस टूथ कैरेक्टर फ्रॉम माई पैटर्न. ओके सो j minus 2th character is equal to dot in this case. So just taking off one more scenario. So basically now I have star है ना, and after star if the character is also dot. So let's try to implement this. In fact I was thinking of this. So now under this elif only, if my character, so if my p so basically here if my pattern p, right, so if my pattern p of minus 2th character, so g minus 2th character, if this is equal to dot, so basically I think this is where the problem is coming, right? So if this is equal to dot, right, so now I have the replica set from a which is common, right? So j minus 2, or in this case p of in this case j minus 2, and this is equal to my character, so in this case s of my I minus 2. So now in this case I'm saying that actually my a's are equally matching, so a and a are correct there, right? So this is either this or this, right? And this is anyway true, right? So yeah, cool, great. So now I think this should be fine. This should be catching this edge condition. So now I'm actually pattern matching my individual characters also, right? So if star is matched, so now in this case, now I'm gonna say my dp of I and dp of j, this should be what? So this should be in this case my I of j. So if for the first condition, if there is a dot, right, so I'm just gonna do the same pattern. So basically if my dot happens here and the star is also there, so exactly same thing I have to done, right? So it should be the same thing. So dp of I comma j, right? Or in this case dp of, for the second case, dp of I and in this case dp of I, in fact I minus 1 and I of j. So because I have to take the first character. Cool. So I think this should accept it. Let's run it. Okay, so that edge condition has passed. Okay, so now that we have covered that edge condition here, now there's another edge condition. What is that here? Okay, so input is AAB and C star A star B. Oh my god, this is crazy, man. This is crazy. So in this case, we have multiple stars and we have false, right? My output is false, yeah, and the expected is true. Okay, let's let's think about this. Let's think about this. How we can solve this here? So इसमें तो मुझे नहीं समझ में आ रहा यार, मैं क्या करूं? ये तो मल्टीपल स्टार्स के अंदर घुसे हैं. दिस इज इंटरेस्टिंग. कूल, ठीक है, चलो आप लोग भी थोड़ा दिमाग लगाओ. बीच में मैं थोड़ा टेक्स्ट पढ़ लेता हूँ आप लोग के. p माइनस वन इज इक्वल टू स्टार देन डी पी, यहाँ ट्रू, करेक्ट. सो वो एल एफ होना चाहिए, यहाँ करेक्ट एल एफ ही है. दिस इज राइट, दिस इज ट्रू, दिस विल पास, या करेक्ट. ठीक है गाइस, चलो थोड़ा आप लोग भी दिमाग लगाओ यार. इसमें आई थिंक ये एक नया एज कंडीशन निकल के आया है, सी स्टार ए स्टार बी, है ना. अभी यहाँ पे कहाँ पे करें यार? इसको तो मुझे ठीक लग रहा है ये, है ना. तो मैंने अरे बना लिया यहाँ पे, एंड देन इसमें मुझे तो कोई डाउट नहीं लग रहा है. एंड देन 0 0 का भी कंडीशन मैंने डाल दिया यहाँ पे. ओके, सो नाउ अगर मेरा इसमें तो कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं दिख रही है मुझे. ओके, सो फॉर देखो अभी स्टार के लॉजिक में जाता है. अगर मैं स्टार के लॉजिक को देखूं स्पेसिफिकली, so I'm talking about my range from 2 to columns plus 1, right? And then I have this star I minus 1, that is fine. And then I have 0 of I dp, correct? And then that's gonna be dp of 0 of I minus 2, that is totally correct. इसमें कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. And then other characters में अगर मैं जाता हूँ, now I have starting from range 0, which is my rows plus 1 and then 1, and also columns plus 1, range 1 से जाएगा, correct, no problem in this. Now in this case, if s of I minus 1, correct, is equal to p of j I minus 1, j minus 1, करेक्ट, इसमें भी कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. और p of j minus 1 इक्वल टू डॉट. सो इसमें भी दोनों ही सेम कंडीशन मैंने लिया, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. सो इन दिस केस इट बिकम I minus 1 और j minus 1, इसमें भी कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं. तो बिल्कुल स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड है, इसमें तो कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. एंड नाउ अगेन आई एम सेइंग दैट इफ माई j is greater than 1, right, and j is greater than 1, so basically एक काम करता हूँ, इसको फर्स्ट चेक, दोनों ही इसमें तो कोई प्रॉब्लम होनी नहीं चाहिए वैसे. इसको चेक करता हूँ, इफ माई j is greater than 1, so basically पहले यही चेक कर ले. एंड वैसे दोनों में फ़र्क तो पड़ा नहीं यार कुछ. एंड j minus 1 is equal to स्टार, बेसिकली लॉजिक यहीं पर ही फ्लॉ है यार, यहीं पर ही कोई प्रॉब्लम, बिकॉज j is equal greater than 1 का ही लॉजिक पे ही जाएगा ये. नाउ आई एम सेइंग दैट इन दिस केस इज I and j minus 2, करेक्ट, इसमें कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. नाउ फर्दर आई एम सेइंग इफ j of minus 2, so basically j of minus 2 is what? So is gonna be my dot, or p of j minus 2 is equal to s of I, right? So I again do not see a problem here, is equal to s of I minus 2. So j minus 2 and s of I minus 2. g of p of j minus 2 is equal to dot होगा, इसमें कोई डाउट नहीं है. और p of j minus 2 equal to s of I minus 2 या I minus 1. एक सेकेंड. ओके, सो आई हैव, अगर मल्टीपल कंडीशंस हैं गाइस, सो आई थिंक इट शुड बी I minus 1, राइट. एक बार ट्राई करते हैं. या लुक्स लाइक इट शुड बी I minus 1. and then I of j or dp of I minus 1 and j, है ना, and then I'm returning dp of rows and also columns. एक बार इसको check करता हूँ यार. I think शायद this, yeah, I think correct, because it should be I minus 1, right? I think this was the problem. Great, finally, small error. Yeah, it should be I minus 1. In fact, yeah, I just made that mistake. Yeah, it should be I minus 1. Yeah, because, yeah, correct. Cool, guys. So I think it was actually a very good question and pretty much into solving the problems. So, but again, logic is very simple. Again, you might have realized we did solve it very easily, right? So we just tried to match the indexes. Still, as I've always said, no concept is wrong, right? So no concept is wrong. I mean, sorry, no approach is wrong. It's just like you have to figure out a flow of your problem, as I've said. So just write some, English version of your code and try to solve it, right? So that should be your approach. That's how I always solve it, right? So I mean, I don't remember every syntax, I don't remember every logic, right? So I have to figure out the way it is, right? That's my recommendation, guys. So do not worry about the code at first stage. So try to write some English version of your code and then try to solve it. Okay, so do not get very much confused by this part. Because to be honest, there is no medicine such that I can tell you to have it like twice a day and then be good about it. To be honest, and to be honest, even I'm not 100% very good about. Even I make mistakes, right? So you have seen that. So even I make mistakes. So it's not like, see, me knowing everything and you not knowing things. It's not like that. Python is all about practice. Even any coding is all about practice. So that is the reason I was talking about, like, let's practice as much as we can, right? So it's all about how much you practice. So I mean, that's what I'm trying to do, right? So we'll practice as much as we can. If we're able to get the concepts like these, right, then we'll be more comfortable. So it's not always about how fast you are. It should be like how good you are in the logic. So that's what I always believe in, right? So yeah, everybody makes mistake. Yeah, everybody makes mistake. It's fine. I mean, you can see I also made 2 wrong answers. It's fine. It's okay. I mean, what's the problem with that? I mean, nobody will. I mean, you're not. Anybody's not. And nobody's sending me somebody else for somewhere else for this. It's fine. I mean, it's okay to make mistakes. You learn by your mistakes. You understand, right? It's okay. Cool. But again, I would still recommend, guys. When you are at this stage, right? So when you are working, when you are, figuring out the solutions, and when you're practicing, right? So try to skip the hard level questions, right? Because I do not want to solve hard level questions in our discussion in the very beginning, because you also understand it's a little difficult to understand. I mean, it's still difficult to get the concept, right? So it's not that easy. So I would still request you to skip the hard level questions at least in the first 2-3 weeks when you're practicing the questions. Now, once you have gained the confidence after solving easy and the medium questions, then touch the hard level questions, right? So otherwise you'll become more underconfident. Likewise, I think because you were saying like you feel stuck, because hard level question में थोड़ा trick तो होता है यार. I mean, if everybody starts solving it, right, then what's the contest all about, right? So there is some limitations for the people, right? So do not get confused by the hard level questions. Try to skip hard level questions when you are at the stage of practicing, at beginning stage of your practicing, right? So try to put your hands on easy and the medium question. You'll gain confidence with that, and then start attempting one question at a time on the hard levels. Okay. Cool. So let's solve one more question. Let's do that. Let's jump to the next question. Container with most water. Cool. So okay, so we have some graffiti also. Cool. So let's do that. Again, we're gonna follow the same process as always. We're gonna have inputs, so we're gonna have outputs, we're gonna have constraints, and then we're gonna have input outputs, constraints, and then we're gonna have flow. Cool. Great. So let's solve this. Inputs. So you are given an integer array height of length n. Okay, let's say you are given an integer array, okay, height of length n. समझा नहीं मैं यार, अरे अरे है क्या हाइट? ओके, there are n vertical lines drawn such that the two endpoints of the ith line are I and 0. मैं क्यों नहीं समझ पा रहा हूँ इसको? Okay, so array of length. Okay, so basically there's an array of length. Okay, I got it. So array of my height of length n. Okay, now I got it. Okay, ठीक है. So there are n vertical lines drawn such that the two endpoints of the ith line are I and 0. Okay. Two endpoints of the ith line. ओके फेयर इनफ. सो ith लाइन की मेरी आई एन जीरो एंड पॉइंट, ठीक है, एंड देन आई एन हाइट आई, ठीक है. सो बेसिकली ये यहाँ पे जीरो है एंड देन द लेंथ ऑफ माई, सो बेसिकली वन है तो जीरो से वन. करेक्ट. नाउ नाउ इट्स क्लियर. ठीक है. फाइंड टू लाइन्स दैट टुगेदर विद द एक्स एक्सिस फॉर्म अ कंटेनर सच दैट द कंटेनर कंटेन्स द मोस्ट वाटर. अच्छा, ओके. सो बेसिकली अ पैरेलल लाइन, जैसे यहाँ पर आपको दिख रहा होगा ये मैक्सिमम हाइट है ना. सो टू मैक्सिमम हाइट से मुझे निकालना होगा ये. ओके, ये ब्लैक वाले से क्यों नहीं लिया यार? ये क्यों नहीं लिया? ये होना चाहिए ना, ये अच्छा. ओके ओके, वॉल्यूम कम हो जाएगी इसकी. ये जितना स्प्रेड होगा वो भी देखना होगा एंड देन हमें हाइट भी देखनी होगी. ओके, आई गॉट इट, आई गॉट इट. Fair enough. So return the maximum amount of water a container can store. Maximum amount of water. Calculation करना है क्या? Output is 49. कैसे कैलकुलेट किया यार इसको? फॉर्मूला कुछ दिया. फाइंड टू लाइन्स दैट टुगेदर विद द एक्स एक्सिस form a container such that the container contains the most water. समझा नहीं मैं यार. Return the maximum amount of water a container can store. क्वेश्चन तो समझ में आ गया. कंटेनर का वाटर कैसे कैलकुलेट कर रहा है ये? हाइट है 18625, ये ठीक है, क्लियर है. आउटपुट इज 49. सो बेसिकली दिस इज 8, ओके, एंड दिस इज 7, राइट. अच्छा, ओके. सो 7 and the 7, so it got 49. Okay, so this multiplying basically the height values. Got it, ठीक है. So the above vertical lines are represented by this. So in this case, the max of the water section, blue section container can also contain is 49. So basically multiplication of this. Simple है. ठीक है यार, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. Cool. हाँ, right, exactly. Very 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 good point, विकास. Yes, so 2 point approach से भी कर सकते हैं. Yes, 2 point से भी कर सकते हैं. मिनिमम आपका 8 और 7 लेकर के मल्टीप्लाइड बाई 7 या कर सकते हैं, बिल्कुल कर सकते हैं. बट ठीक है, चलो लेट्स ट्राई टू सॉल्व इट यार. अभी थोड़ा सा अभी या आई मीन दिस एक्चुअली वेरी वेल सेड निखिल. सो इट्स लाइक लेट्स ट्राई टू थिंक इन सम अदर वे, है ना. सो अभी और क्या ऑप्शन है मेरे पास? मेरे पास यहाँ पे क्या है यार? देखो मेरे पास मैं एक्चुअली 2-3 तरीके से सोच रहा हूँ इस प्रॉब्लम को. एक्चुअली आपका जो पॉइंट आपने 2 पॉइंट बोला ना, ये मुझे एक्चुअली दिमाग में लग रहा है. ये एक्चुअली इससे कर सकते हैं, मिनिमम से निकाल करके सॉर्ट भी कर सकते हैं. 2-3 चीज़ें मेरे दिमाग में आ रही हैं. चलो इसको सिंपल तरीके से करते हैं, ठीक है, पर एकदम सिंपल लॉजिक से बनाने का ट्राई करता हूँ मैं. हमें पहले ना कैसे करूँ मैं? मैं इसको काम करता हूँ, सॉर्ट कर लूँ क्या? अगर मैं एक्स कोज अगर मैं पहले सॉर्ट कर लेता हूँ फॉर एग्जांपल, एंड फ्लो लिखता हूँ पहले यार. चलो स्टिक द प्रॉब्लम. मैंने तो कुछ लिखा ही नहीं है यहाँ पे. चलो फटाफट लिखते हैं, है ना. तो मेरे पास क्या है? अरे है, अरे ऑफ हाइट, ठीक है, लेंथ एन, ठीक है, एंड नाउ वी आर वर्टिकल लाइंस. सो तो क्लियर है मेरे पास, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं. आउटपुट क्या चाहिए? मैक्सिमम वाटर चाहिए मेरे को, मैक्सिमम वाटर चाहिए. सो बेसिकली मल्टीप्लिकेशन ऑफ हाइट वैल्यू है ये, ठीक है, हाइट वैल्यू है ये, ठीक है. एंड देन ये कर लिया हमने. कॉन्स्ट्रेंट्स क्या है? मेरे को मैक्सिमम चाहिए, मैक्स वाटर चाहिए. ये कॉन्स्ट्रेंट दिख रहा है मुझे तो. या सो एन इज़ लाइक हाइट ऑफ लेंथ, ये लिख रखा है हमने यहाँ पे. एंड ये तो ठीक है, ये भी ठीक है. चलो फ्लो. ओके, थोड़ा फ्लो बनाते हैं इसका. फ्लो में मेरे को क्या दिख रहा है यहाँ पर? आपको क्या दिख रहा है? बेसिकली जितने भी मेरे पास हाइट हैं यहाँ पे, हाइट के वैल्यूज हैं, है ना. अगर मैं इसको इंडेक्सेस कर दूं, है ना। सो अगर मैं इसको हाइट वैल्यूज को इंडेक्सिंग कर दूं एंड देन उसको सॉर्ट कर दूं, रिवर्स पे ही कर दूं, रिवर्स पे ही सॉर्ट कर देता हूं अगर, एंड देन we can find what from this. So my minimum of my lengths and my maximum of my lengths we can find out, right? And then on that top we have, once we have the maximum the length, and then we can just multiply that. हाँ, we can now, मेरे पास एक देखो, मैं सिंपल अप्रोच से करता हूँ इसको, पहले भी उसमें पॉइंटर अप्रोच में नहीं जाता हूँ। हाँ, ओके, मल्टीपल कमेंट्स पे से सॉर्टिंग सॉर्टिंग वोंट वर्क हियर। नहीं यार, सॉर्टिंग वर्क करेगा। मैं इनफैक्ट अभी सॉर्टिंग से ही सॉल्व करने का सोच रहा हूँ, उसको मैं सॉर्टिंग से दिखाता हूँ आपको। लेट्स ट्राई टू सॉल्व इट थ्रू सॉर्टिंग। टू लूप, हाँ टू लूप तो करना ही पड़ेगा ना यार, डेफिनेटली वो टू लूप में तो जाएगा ही। सॉर्ट करने से विथ जो है कम होगा ना। ऐसा नहीं है यार, सिंगल लूप से हो जाएगा। सिंगल लूप, देखो सिंगल लूप इसमें दो तरीके का लूप है एक्चुअली। डबल लूप, लूप अंडर लूप नहीं होगा, बट दो डिफरेंट लूप्स में करना पड़ेगा इसको। मैं एक सोच रहा था कि इसको एक इंडेक्सिंग कर दूं, एनुमरेट करके इसको इंडेक्सिंग कर देता हूँ, देन इंडेक्सिंग से सॉर्ट करता हूँ, एंड देन उस पे रेंज ऑफ माई लेंथ करके उसके मिन मैक्स निकालता हूँ। चलो मैं आपको शो करता हूँ व्हाट आई एम थिंकिंग राइट नाउ। सो मेरे पास दिमाग में आ रहा है कुछ कुछ चीज़ें। सो अभी मैं क्या सोच रहा था कि I was thinking to sort the values. Okay, so sort the values using enumerate करके, ठीक है। enumerate का मैं sort करता हूँ। sort करने के बाद मैं क्या करूँगा, I'll try to find out the min max values. So min max, uh, I'll create the min maxes, right? And now for the height of my min, uh, and then we have the क्या कर सकता हूँ, तो बस मैं कंफ्यूज हो रहा हूँ इसमें। सो हियर एंड देन ऑन द रेंजेस पे भी करना पड़ेगा, थोड़ा ये ट्रिकी हो जाएगा ये, बट आई एम थिंकिंग टू सॉल्व इट थ्रू सॉर्टिंग ओनली। चलो ट्राई करते हैं, थोड़ा लेंदी हो जाएगा ये, बट लेट्स ट्राई दिस। एंड देन कैलकुलेट द वॉल्यूम, है ना। इसमें एक्चुअली यहाँ पे भी एक कंडीशन होगा, इसके बाद भी यहाँ पर हमें ना वो वैल्यू को कंपेयर भी करना पड़ेगा, वैल्यू कंपैरिजन भी करना पड़ेगा मुझे ना। सो वो एक सेपरेट लूप में जाएगा, सेपरेट लूप, ठीक है। चलो अभी बेसिक ही लिखा है मैंने, सॉल्व करते हैं इसको। सो मेरे को मैक्स एरिया निकालना है, राइट। सो मैक्स एरिया, आई हैव हाइट विच इज अ लिस्ट ऑफ माय इंटीजर्स, राइट। सो मैं क्या करता हूँ, मैं यहाँ पे एक डिफरेंट लिस्ट बनाता हूँ। सो बेसिकली एक एक्स बनाता हूँ। सो एक्स मेरे पास एक एम्प्टी लिस्ट है, ठीक है। क्या करना चाह रहा हूँ, मैं इसको सॉर्ट करना चाह रहा हूँ। सो आई कैन जस्ट डू एन एनुमरेट हियर। सो फॉर I and my n in what, so enumerate my of height. So height is my input. अगर मैं इसको करता हूँ for I and in enumerate, so I'm gonna just append. So x dot append what? So it's gonna be my I and n. Cool. So I've just appended my height ka array here, and now I'm gonna just sort this. Okay, so I'm gonna just sort x dot sort. So I'm gonna do x dot sort of my here. How can I sort this? So I have my x of 1, right? So 0 and 1, the nth value. So it's gonna be my lambda. So what? So key gonna be my lambda, and then I'm gonna have lambda of x gonna be x of 1, right? So that's gonna be my n value, right? So x gonna be x of 1, and also I'm gonna write reverse is equal to true. So true, right? So reverse is equal to, so now I have the sorted enumerated indexes here with me, right? Right. So so now what I want, I can just create my minimum of my indexes here. So 0, 1 and 1, 1. So it's gonna be my what? So it's gonna be my 0, 1 and the 1, 1 of the values. Cool. Now what can I do? So okay, so just initialize करता हूँ यहाँ पे, एक index initialize करता हूँ यहाँ पे. Suppose मैं काम करता हूँ, I'm gonna just initialize my basically, यार कैसे करूँ मैं इसको? ओके, सो अगर मैं, ठीक है, मैं इसको एक इनिशियलाइज करता हूँ, एक ए से कर देता हूँ इसको. इट्स गोना बी माय minimum of my x of 0 and x of 1, okay, and then it's gonna be my x of 1 comma x of 1. So that's gonna be my a. Okay, so I've just initialized my a here. Likewise, I'm gonna do it respectively for b also. It's gonna be a minimum of my x of, instead of 0 0 0 1, I'm gonna take 0 0 now. So it's gonna be my 0 0, and then I'm gonna have the minimum of my x of 1, and then I'm gonna have the minimum of x of 0. Cool. So now I have 0 1 1 1 and 0 0 1 0. Cool. ठीक है. So 0th index and the first index का minimum आ गया मेरे पास. Similarly मैं maximum भी ले लेता हूँ. So एक max लेता हूँ. Max of my, so that's gonna be what? So it's gonna be my 0 0 and 1 0. Right. So max of my 0 0 and 1 0. Right. So it's gonna be my x of 0 0 and then x of 1 comma 0. Cool. So I have initialized my base values here. So now in this case, what I want, so basically the answer which I want, so the area which I want here is it's gonna be my a, which is my minimum of my 0 1 and 1 1 multiplied by my c minus 1. Cool. So that's what I have. So it cannot have the all the indexes. Going to be c minus 1. It's just going to be, the area would be what? Area would be what? Area would be my a multiplied by c minus 1. It's going to be my a. Yeah, so a multiplied by c minus 1. Cool. So this is my base condition here. So now on this, for the comparison part, so for I in range of, so I in range of what? So it's now I have, so 0 1, so let's start with 2 here. So for the length of x, so for all of my x now, so I've just used the first two condition to create the base value. Okay, so now I'm just doing from the second index. Cool. So for the second index, again define my ABC again. So here my minimum of my the first value, so it's gonna be my, let's do it for my b first. So b would be what? The minimum of my x of, so minimum of my x of, मेरे को x का minimum चाहिए, right? And मेरे को maximum किसका चाहिए होगा? Maximum चाहिए होगा मेरे को r में से, and so it will be what? So for minimum of x of 0, x of x of, in this case, I, so x of I, and then I have x of 0 in this case. So I minimum of my x of I and 0, and then in this case is gonna be my initial value of b, right? So that's gonna be my first condition of my b. Okay, and then for my c, the same thing. So c is gonna be my max of x, and then same thing. So it's gonna be my I, it's gonna be my I, and then I'll be having my 0th character here, and then it's gonna be my C. C. Cool. So now I have from the second index, I have defined my minimum of my I of 0, I and 0 of my x, right? And then likewise the max for my C value. Now for the A here, A is bit of a trick. So A here in this case, I'm going to do my minimum of my maximum value. So yeah, so minimum of either of this is going to be my A would be what? So it will be minimum of my, in this case I want minimum of my what? So minimum of my maximum value, right? So either the maximum or the ith character. So basically in this case it's gonna be what? So it's gonna be minimum of my, either it's gonna be my so it's gonna be my a starting point, or it's gonna be my x of I or 1. Cool. So now in this case, I have defined again the new cases. So B, C, and A. So I have my x of I of 0, B, and then maximum of this. But A is what? Minimum of my A or my x of I comma 1. Cool. Now in this case, my the area would be what? So area would be max of area or same thing. So it's gonna be so it's gonna be my, again the same thing. It's gonna be basically my A cross C minus 1. From this I want the max of my area, right? Now what I can do is I can just return the area. Yeah, looks good to me. Simple logic है, बहुत ही simple logic से बनाया है मैंने. No pointer and nothing. So just by indexing, है ना. So मैंने एक base condition define कर दिया ABC का, and then I have used my indexing को, जो 0 1 के अलावा 2 से indexing को start किया और उसमें min max ले लिया मैंने, है ना. Based on the previous condition. अगर वो ज़्यादा होगा तो वो उसको पहले वाले को ले लेगा, और कम होगा तो बाद वाले को लेगा, है ना. A B and C डिफाइन कर, एरिया सेम डिफाइन कर दिया मैंने, है ना. आई थिंक ये तो सही कर रहा हूँ मैं. लॉजिक तो सही लग रहा है यार मुझे. देयर इज नो प्रॉब्लम इन द लॉजिक. सिंपल है, थोड़ा लॉजिक है. आई थिंक दिस शुड वर्क यार. नो एनीबॉडी हैज एनी कंसर्न? किसी ने कुछ तो किया हुआ है. मैक्सिमम ऑफ so here I'm just using it for my value. अरे नहीं, अरे sorry ये this is not basically C minus 1 नहीं होगा, C minus B होगा. Sorry, my bad. C minus B. Right, so my bad. It should not be 1, it should be C minus B. Nikhil, I think I already answered your question. I just saw one error in my code. So instead of I used 1 there. Cool. So I think logic is fine. Let's try to run this. Okay, I think error aa jayegi. Shit, my bad. Right, so the logic is fine, great. So the logic is good. So let's just quickly validate it. Edge conditions तो capture कर रहा है ना ये. चलो एक बार इसको submit करके देखते हैं. I am not sure whether this will accept in submission also. Oh, great. It has accepted in the submission as well. Great. So the solution is also capturing the edge conditions. So I think whatever they have edge conditions so far, that's wonderful. That's in the one shot, yeah. That's motivating for me also. Great. So I think very much fair enough. Well and good. Great, guys. Great. I think simple logic से क्या है यार. देखो again I think somebody was saying ना कि वो sort से नहीं कर सकते हैं. Sort से भी कर सकते हैं, क्यों नहीं कर सकते हैं. मैं आपको क्या बोला, सेम थिंग गाइस. नो अप्रोच इज रॉन्ग, है ना. नो लॉजिक इज रॉन्ग. ओके, it's all about your thought process, how you can think about a problem, right? So maybe I think somebody was talking about doing with the do two pointer approach. Two pointer से भी कर सकते हैं, no problem in that. I'm still agreeing to it. We can still do that. But I mean somebody said कि वो sort से नहीं कर सकते, just split कि नहीं अब sort से ही करते हैं. So that is the reason why I thought to solve it through sort only. And so that's what I did. Okay, Venkateshwar Rao. Yeah, so DSA भी करेंगे यार. I've already taken this as a feedback. To be honest, I do not have that planned for now. But I'll take this as a feedback for sure. So I'll start DSA anytime soon. I'll do that. Well, because I think for preparing of the these things, right, it takes time to prepare the content, and also I have to really sit through it and prepare the content. So that might take some time. But I'll just figure out the stuff. So for this one, it's not going to be possible. Maybe next month schedules, I'll try to add that. Sure. Great. So what about else? People getting the logics. Hey Vikas, thank you so much. Yeah, great. Thank you so much for appreciating. Will you teach full course of Python in an academy? Yeah, that's the plan, Venkateshwar Rao. Yes, the plan is to teach. I mean, I cannot say full Python. Python is vast, so I don't know whether if I missed something. But my objective is to cover the max I can from my side, to be honest. Great. Being Nikhil, don't need a current number will always be min. समझा नहीं मैं यार question आपका निखिल. Uh, भैया मैक्सिमम सब अरे वाला क्वेश्चन, मैक्सिमम सब अरे वाला क्वेश्चन कौन सा था यार, पता नहीं कौन सा क्वेश्चन है यार, मैक्सिमम सब अरे क्वेश्चन नंबर बताओ तो फिर देखते हैं उसमें क्या है. बट मीनवाइल और क्या है, आपने क्या बोला, ऑन टॉप 100 लाइक्ड क्वेश्चंस का क्वेश्चन नंबर 53. ओके सो 100 लाइक्ड क्वेश्चंस, टॉप 100 लाइक्ड क्वेश्चंस के क्वेश्चन नंबर 53. ओके बट अगेन माय ऑब्जेक्टिव वुड स्टिल, ओके इजी है बोलो, मैक्सिमम सबरे बोल रहे हो, ये इजी लेवल क्वेश्चन है यार, ये तो सॉल्व हो जाना चाहिए. बट अगेन अगेन यार मैं आपको स्टिल बोलूँगा, लेट्स स्टिक टू our logic of solving the questions as much as we can from the list. Okay, so let's not get deviated. But again, I'll if you have a specific interest in question number 53, we can still do that. But again, I would still say let's stick to the list which we have, right? So it's still, we have n number of questions to solve. So if we just go around here and there, right, so we might miss out on a few things. So let's stick to because the reason why I'm saying this is because they have prepared this list of question also in some logical way, right? So they're trying to cover multiple topics in such a way that we follow the course content likewise, right? Problem number 4 tomorrow. Okay, so unfortunately, Vikash, I'm actually not will not be available tomorrow. So tomorrow there will not be any class. So I have something personal to take care of tomorrow. So maybe we can extend today if you okay. So if people are fine, so maybe we can extend half an hour more today, so that we can cover maybe one more problem. We can do that. But again, for sure, problem number 4. I've already I liked this question earlier, so I have already solved that question. So right, so we can do that. It's fine. But I'll take that maybe in the next session. Right. Cool. We'll do that. But again, let's take one more question. I think in fact we can do. In fact, if you are fast, so we can solve these 3 together. So medium, easy. So this easy should be easier. So generally the easy questions here on Leetcode are actually very easy, right? So it's actually very easy. So it hardly like I think 10 minutes of question. But let's try to solve the medium first. So let's try to take this one and let's see how much time we have. फोर्थ में यार एक्चुअली थोड़ा टाइम लग जाएगा, सो बिकॉज ऑफ हार्ड प्रॉब्लम है ना, सो इसमें इसलिए मैं फोर्थ नहीं करना चाह रहा हूँ. सो टू बी ऑनेस्ट फोर्थ हम लोग नेक्स्ट सेशन में करते हैं विकास, ठीक है, विल डू दैट. चलो लेट्स हैव दैट सेम फ्लो. सो इनपुट्स इज गोना बी माय आउटपुट्स एंड देन वी हैव फ्लो. चलो एंड देन ऐसे कांस्टेंट तो मैं भूल ही गया. चलो, Roman numerals are represented by 7 different symbols: I, V, X, L, C, and D. Okay, cool. Symbol and उसके value है ना, ठीक है. For example, 2 is written in I and I in Roman numeral. Just 2 ones add together 12. समझा नहीं मैं. Okay, just 2 ones add together. Okay. So basically ये इसका है. Okay, समझा नहीं मैं. Okay, 12 is written in XII, which is simply X plus II. Number is 27 is written in X VII, right, which is XX plus V plus II, right? Cool. Yeah, that's fair enough. So Roman numerals are usually written largest to smallest from left to right. Okay. So, however, okay, पर मैं input कर देता हूँ. So, letters and matching लिखा हुआ है मेरे पास. And then I have this all things. Roman numerals are usually written largest to smallest from left to right. Okay, fair enough. However, the numeral for 4 is not I. Instead, the number 4 is written as IV, yeah. Because the 1 is before the 5 is subtracted, making 4. The same principle applies to the number 9, which is written in IX, right? So basically, constraint क्या है मेरे पास? Constraint for 4 and 9. Cool. Okay. There are 6 instances where subtraction is used. I can be placed over V, which is 5, right? And X, which is 10 to make 4 and 9, right? X can be placed before L 50, okay? And C 100 to make 40 and 90. So XL. So XL becomes 40, okay, and XC becomes 90. XC90, अरे रोमन है यार, ये तो वॉल्वो XC90 हो गया. ओके, तो मैंने सोचा ही नहीं था कभी. C and B placed before D. Okay, 500. So CD becomes 400 and CM becomes 900. ओके, इंटरेस्टिंग है यार, ये तो मुझे भी नहीं पता था लॉजिक. इंटरेस्टिंग. चलो ये कांस्टेंट में लिख देता हूँ. ठीक है. गिवन एन इंटीजर कन्वर्ट इनटू अ रोमन न्यूमरल. ओके, चलो ये तो बहुत ही मजेदार है यार. लेट्स डू दैट. सो न्यूमरल टू रोमन. In fact, we can save this also, and we can also convert into maybe an application or something like that. So it's gonna be very easier, you know. Yeah, so many dislikes. ये तो आपने सही बोला. I didn't notice so many dislikes. ये so many dislikes क्यों है मैं समझ नहीं पा रहा हूँ. I think easy है क्या इसलिए. I don't know why people have not liked this question, but anyway. I'm writing down your question number. So problem number 18, problem number 4, and somebody said question number 53, and something like that. So I'm just noting down these numbers, guys. So I'll take all of these questions one by one, right? So don't worry, we'll do that. Okay, so अब इसको start कर लिया तो इसको खत्म कर लेते हैं. ठीक है. कहाँ गया. ओके, चलो. अभी सिंपल ही है वैसे तो, मुझे ज़्यादा इसमें बहुत ट्रिक लग नहीं रहा है. सो एक बार इसको कॉन्सेप्ट देख लेते हैं. 3 को मैंने आई कर दिया. 3 इज रिप्रेजेंटेड एज 3 ones. नंबर 58 इज LVII, राइट. सो कूल है. And then 1994. So M is 1000, CM is 900. Okay, and then XC. So XC is 90, and then 4 is 4 basically. अच्छा, ओके, इंटरेस्टिंग. चलो ठीक है. ओके, आई थिंक तो इसको डायरेक्टली पैटर्न मैच नहीं करा सकते. इतना क्यों ड्रामा कर रहा है. आई मीन वी कैन जस्ट सिंपली डू पैटर्न मैचिंग, है ना. इसमें क्या प्रॉब्लम है. आई मीन 2-3 तरीके से मैं कर सकता हूँ इसको. कैसे करूँ यार. या तो मैं सिंपल इसका एक डिक्शनरी बना दूँ. मतलब 2-3 तरीके से बना देता हूँ. या फिर सिंपल एक डिक्शनरी बना देता हूँ, या फिर लिस्ट सी डिफाइन कर देता हूँ, है ना. यार ये तो समझ नहीं आ रहा मुझे ना इस क्वेश्चन का एक्चुअली में. ठीक है, एक्चुअली ये क्वेश्चन तो है थोड़ा सा बेकार सा ही. सही तो बात है, लाइक सही डिसलाइक सही है इसमें. एक्चुअली इसमें तो सिंपल मैं पैटर्न मैचिंग ही करा सकता हूँ यार. तो एक काम करता हूँ, सिंपल है इसमें. देखो मैं क्या कर सोच रहा हूँ कि प्रिपेयर सो मेक 2 lists ऑफ रोमन एंड न्यूमेरिक इंटीजर्स. ओके, फिर मैं क्या करूँगा, एंड फॉर ईच ऑफ दिस सिंपल मैं उसको रेंज पे डाल दूंगा. सो बेसिकली जितना मेरे पास रेंज की वैल्यू है उसमें वो ऐड करता चला जाएगा. सो एंड ऑन टॉप ऑफ दिस सो आइटरेट ओवर दिस लिस्ट एंड रिटर्न आउटपुट. सिंपल हो जाएगा ये. सिंपल ही है ये तो, एक्चुअली बहुत सिंपल हो जाएगा. चलो कोई बात नहीं, क्या क्या दिक्कत है, सॉल्व करते हैं. सो मेरे पास क्या क्या है यार. सो 1000 है मेरे पास, 1000 है, 500 है, और देन मेरे पास 100 है, 50 है, 10 है, 5 है, 1 है. राइट. तो इसका जो एज कंडीशन है ना वो लिख लेते हैं. सो एज कंडीशन क्या काम करता हूँ, वैल्यू को करता हूँ. सो हायर टू लोअर हो ना, तो एक काम कर देता हूँ मैं, इसको लास्ट बड़ा से छोटा में लिख देता हूँ. सो आई हैव 1000, आई हैव सो एज कंडीशन में 900 भी एज कंडीशन है ना मेरा, 900 लिख देता हूँ. 900, 500 एंड 400 भी लिख देता हूँ इसमें. 400 एक्स भी है, वो भी 100 हो जाएगा. 90 हो जाएगा. 90 के बाद 50 हो जाएगा, फिर 40 हो जाएगा, फिर क्या हो जाएगा, 10 हो जाएगा, then you have 9 हो जाएगा, 5 हो जाएगा, 4 हो जाएगा, 1 हो जाएगा, है ना. इसका तो कुछ नहीं है. कूल. एक काम करता हूँ, इसका मैं करंट रोमन कन्वर्जन लिख देता हूँ. ठीक है, रोमन कन्वर्जन का जाएगा एम हो जाएगा, ये हो जाएगा एम, एंड देन वी हैव दिस इज व्हाट, दिस इज सीएम, this is what this I think D D, then ये कैफोनेट क्या हो जाएगा, CD, and then 100 क्या है मेरे पास, C, and then we have 90 क्या हो जाएगा, LC, XC, एक सेकंड यार, 90 क्या हो जाएगा, XC होगा ना, हाँ XC होगा, करेक्ट. देन ये हो जाएगा XC. कूल. सो कितने हो गए मेरे पास, ये D हो गया, ये CD हो गया, ये C हो गया, ये XC हो गया, ये, and then 50 is what, 50 is L, right? 50 is L, and then I have 10 which is sorry, 50 के बाद हो गया 40. 40 is what, so 40 हो गया L L के बाद हो गया XL, XL, right? And then I have X, then I have what, so I have my IX, it's gonna be IX, then gonna be what, V, and then I'm gonna have IV, and then I'm gonna have I. यही है ना मेरे कैरेक्टर्स मेरे. ठीक है, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 हो गए मेरे पास. ठीक है, ये मैंने डिफाइन कर दिए. अभी मैं सबको कमेंट कर रहा हूँ. सिंपल ही है ये तो यार एक्चुअली. सो अभी मैं क्या करूँगा, अब मैंने इसको बहुत ही सिंपल कर दिया है. एक काम करता हूँ मैं, यहाँ पे अपना जो फाइनल आउटपुट है ना, सो आउटपुट को एक स्ट्रिंग ऑलरेडी डिफाइन कर देता हूँ, विच इज़ माई स्ट्रिंग, जिसको मुझे आउटपुट बनाना है. ठीक है, अब मैं कहूँगा फॉर आई इन रेंज ऑफ माई व्हाट, सो रेंज ऑफ माई 13th कैरेक्टर. सो ऑल ऑफ माई 13 डाल देता हूँ यहाँ पे, रेंज ऑफ माई 13. In this case, while my so basically my integer, so it's gonna be my num. So while num is greater than or equal to my value, so my value of my I. Cool. So if this is valid, so if my num is greater than or equal to my value of I, cool. If this is true, I'm gonna say that if this is valid, while this is true, so I'm gonna say that my output, so output plus equal to my Roman of I. So I'm just gonna match it, and then n would be what? So n, I'm gonna subtract n to my value, so value of my I. Cool. And then in this case I'm just gonna return the output. What's the problem in that? Simple हो गया ना ये, क्या दिक्कत है. Python enthusiast, one question here. Every iteration we can multiply by 10 to the power 10 I या कर सकते हैं where I starts from 1. हाँ वो भी कर सकते हैं. मैं एक्चुअली इतना कॉम्प्लिकेट नहीं करना चाह रहा था यार. मैं सिंपली इसको सॉल्व कर दिया यार. क्या प्रॉब्लम है? एक अरे मैप कर दिया ना. सिंपल. इसको मैपिंग ही तो करनी है और क्या करना है इसमें. मैपिंग ही तो करनी है. सर्टेन एज कंडीशन थे इसमें सी डी ये सब ये भी लिख दिया मैंने. क्या टेंशन है. इतना क्यों ड्रामा करना है. आई थिंक चल जाना चाहिए. अब अनलेस अनलेस ऐसा कुछ एज कंडीशन जो हम मिस कर गए मतलब बात अलग है. लॉजिक तो सही लग रहा है मुझे. क्या प्रॉब्लम है इसमें. क्या हो गया इसमें देखते हैं. एन नहीं यहाँ पे नंबर है ना. दिस इज माय नंबर. हाँ सही है. ठीक है. आ गया. सिंपल है. क्या टेंशन है इसमें. सिंपल रखो यार. कोड को जितना ज़्यादा सिंपल रख सकते हैं. जब जब कॉम्प्लिकेट करने की बारी आएगी तो कॉम्प्लिकेट करेंगे. अभी तो सिंपल तरीके से सॉल्व कर सकते हैं. अननेसेसरी इसको क्या इतना प्रॉब्लम क्रिएट करेंगे. ये वैल्यू लिस्ट नहीं समझा. अच्छा ये सिंपल है ना यार. इसमें सिंपल मैंने वैल्यू डाल रखी जो जितने भी उसने ये डाल रखे थे ना यहाँ पे. ये 1500 550 और इसमें उन्होंने मेंशन भी किया कि देयर सर्टेन एज कंडीशंस जहाँ पे 9 40 90 400 900 भी है ना. मैंने वो सब भी डाल दिया इसमें एक ही बार में. कोई एज कंडीशन कोई लूप में हैंडल नहीं करूंगा मैं. सिंपल एक वैल्यू का लिस्ट बना दिया मैंने एंड उसके मैपिंग डाल दी रोमन के अंदर. है ना. सिंपल है. क्यों क्यों कॉम्प्लिकेट करूँ इसको. मैं लूपिंग से भी कर सकता हूँ. देन उसके फर्स्ट करेक्टर निकाल सकता हूँ. 500 को -100 भी कर सकता हूँ. उसका यूनिट 5 को भी निकाल करके उसको -1 भी कर सकता हूँ इंडेक्सिंग के साथ. लॉट ऑफ वेज. आई मीन यू कैन जस्ट कॉम्प्लिकेट द क्वेरी एज मच एज यू वांट राइट. बट नो नीड. अभी सिंपल मुझे आई मीन जस्ट क्लिक्ड. सो आई मीन जस्ट क्लिक. सो मुझे लगा यार सिंपल दो लिस्ट बना देते हैं. दो मैपिंग की लिस्ट बना देते हैं. देन उसमें उसी पे लूप कर देते हैं. व्हाट्स द प्रॉब्लम इन दैट. वी कैन स्टिल डू दैट. है ना. अभी सबमिट करके देख लेते हैं यार. आई डोंट नो इफ देयर इज सम एज कंडीशन और समथिंग व्हिच आई जस्ट मिस्ड. आई मेड इट वेरी सिंपल बट लेट्स सी. सिंपल. चलो ये सबमिट भी हो गया यार. क्या टेंशन है. हो गया. कोई टेंशन नहीं है. सबमिट इज आल्सो डन. सो वी हैव द सबमिशन आल्सो डन. क्या टेंशन है. कूल. ठीक है. या डेटा साइंस के भी इधर कोड बियॉन्ड पे ही हैं. बट अनफॉर्चुनेटली दिस ऑपरेशंस गाइस ना दे हैव नॉट पुट द प्लेलिस्ट अंडर माय नेम. सो आई कुड इफ यू गो टू द कोड बियॉन्ड चैनल एंड इफ यू गो टू प्लेलिस्ट. सो ऑन द प्लेलिस्ट देयर इज एन ऑप्शन ऑफ क्रिएटेड प्लेलिस्ट जिसमें सबके नाम के अंडर में लिस्ट है ना. वो नहीं करना. वो वहाँ पे मत जाना. सो क्रिएटेड प्लेलिस्ट में थोड़ा राइट स्क्रॉल करोगे ना तो पाइथन विद डेटा साइंस करके दिखाई देगा आपको. सो पाइथन विद डेटा साइंस अर्पित जैन आप सर्च करोगे तो आपको मिल जाएगा प्लेलिस्ट. सो देयर आई थिंक 15-20 videos जिसमें we have covered visualization on Seaborn and we have covered NLP, natural language processing using NLTK. So we have covered that. So that's what you can. It's on CodeBeyond only. मैं उनको बोलता हूँ operations वालों को ना. I'll ask them to put it under my playlist name. ओके सो वाइल लूप वाला एक्सप्लेन थोड़ा. वाइल लूप कौन सा हो गया यार. ये सिंपल है ना यार. मैं तब तक उसको कर रहा हूँ अगर ये मेरा नंबर जो है मेरा इनपुट ये तब तक वैलिड है जब तक ये नंबर से वैल्यू से इंटीजर से बड़ा नहीं हो जाता. अगर इस केस में अगर वो बड़ा हो जाएगा तो फिर तो कोई मतलब नहीं बन गया ना. अगर मैं 900 को 1000 से चेक करूंगा क्या मतलब बनता है. कोई मतलब नहीं बनता है. सो इट इज ओनली वैलिड if the number is greater than my value of I. So this number is greater than this. So 900 should come before 500. 500 should come before 400. That's the logic I've just written here. Okay. And this if this is true, output को मैंने रोमन वाला ऐड कर दिया. So रोमन वाला जो उसमें स्ट्रिंग में ऐड करता चला जाएगा यहाँ पे. बस. है ना. Should we not optimize the time complexity? I mean, what if in interview they ask to optimize? What else can we add? Okay. Actually, this is very optimized solution to be honest. अब इससे there's no loop involved. Simple mapping है. 1000 की मैपिंग है M, 900 की मैपिंग है CM. अगर आप इसको मैंने वैल्यू और रोमन का दो डिफरेंट लिस्ट के ना आप डिक्शनरी में बना लो. इसको एक डिक्शनरी कर लो. 1000:M कर दो. एक सेम डिक्शनरी बन जाएगी. उससे फास्ट क्या हो सकता है. दिस इज वेरी फास्ट. दिस इज एक्चुअली वेरी फास्ट सोल्यूशन. बट अगर आप सेम लॉजिक को कोड पे करोगे लाइक इफ यू वांट टू गो एंड फाइंड द इंडेक्सेस do a -1, write a logic to do add C on top of M whenever there is a 9 character, right? So you can just complicate it as much as you want, right? But this is, I would say very fast solution, very much optimized. But again, see again, I don't see. I mean, technically, it's actually a little rare to expect a question in an interview when an interviewer is asking you to optimize the query. I mean, it depends on what level you're getting hired. To be honest, yeah. I mean, for a senior level, obviously, yes, this is one of the questions which can be asked. But I'm just assuming that you guys are like college passed out or freshers. So in this level, I don't see constraints. I mean, time complexity is of that much of constraint at the part of interview, to be honest. But still, if in any unfortunate situation, if somebody is asking you, then still this is an optimized solution only. But again, you have to think about it. Like there are a lot of things which you can do in optimization, so we have to still think about it. बट आई मीन सिंस ये तो एक्चुअली मैं बहुत ही ऑप्टिमाइज यार, इससे क्या होगा? मैं कुछ लॉजिक ही नहीं कर रहा हूँ यार इसमें, सिंपल सिंपल मैपिंग है, कोई लॉजिक नहीं है। हाँ ना यार, करेक्ट। सो रिमाइंडर डिविजर करूंगा, फिर उसमें से वो यूनिट डिजिट निकालूंगा, फिर मॉड्यूलस 10 करूंगा, फिर उसके टेंस निकालूंगा, हंड्रेड्स निकालूंगा, फिर उसको -1 करूंगा, इंडेक्स करूंगा, बहुत सारी चीज़ें हो जाएगी, वो बहुत कॉम्प्लेक्स हो जाएगा सिचुएशन, है ना? वो और नंबर ऑफ लाइन्स ऑफ कोड्स बढ़ जाएंगे मेरे वहाँ पे। बट ये तो बहुत ही सिंपल है, हार्डली 5 लाइन्स का कोड है, इसमें क्या करा? कुछ नहीं करा मैंने, सिंपल सा लॉजिक है इसमें। Cool. Great, yeah. I'm also tired. I think we have done a lot of questions today. So let's take a pause for the day. Let's wind up for the day. So what we can do it, guys. Tomorrow I'm not available, so we are not having class tomorrow. So we'll be meeting day after tomorrow. But the plan for day after tomorrow is for data science. Okay. So I'll be starting the Spacey API for you for the NLTK package on top of NLTK. So we'll be doing Spacey. That's the plan, right? So please, you can look out for my playlist as I've said. So look for Python for data science under the CodeBeyond channel itself. You'll be finding that playlist. I'll ask the operations guy to put that playlist under my name, so that is still not there. But still, do look out for this playlist. Python for data science, still the part of CodeBeyond channel only. Okay, so we'll be introducing Spacey there, right? So Thursdays and Friday. So Thursday and Friday. So not tomorrow, day after tomorrow, and on Friday we'll be having 2 classes on Spacey. So we're gonna see some good functions on Spacey, and then on the weekends we're gonna have our marathon class for SQL problem solving on Leetcodes. Don't forget, we're gonna solve the premium questions. Okay, so we're gonna see the premium questions on SQL over the weekends. So we're gonna have a long class. So we're gonna have 2 to 3 hours of class to solve as many questions as we can. Cool. Great, guys. Thank you so much. I'll give your evening back. Have a happy night's sleep, right? And let's meet day after tomorrow. Don't wait for me for tomorrow. I'm not available tomorrow. So we'll be meeting day after tomorrow on data science. Great. Thank you so much, Vikas. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone who's part of our chat. Nayar, Vishwas, whosoever. So, right. So, thank you so much, guys. See you day after tomorrow with some other questions. Bye bye.